Okay, thank you. I think Namibia and Senegal, they share a very special relation, a relation predating independence, because Senegal has been very instrumental in advocating for independence. As you might be aware, our struggle for independence was against the then apartheid South Africa. And Senegal made immense contribution both financially, materially towards the independence of Namibia. And former presidents like Leopold Senghor, they were very instrumental to our independence. And then I think that that's a basis of our current, this forms the basis of our current bilateral relations between Senegal and Namibia. Just to go further, I think since then, I think the cordial relations have been reflected in the number of high-level exchanges between our respective head of states. Our current and former head of states have all been to Senegal for official visits. The former president Macky Sall has also visited Namibia for a state visit. And then we'll keep on having exchanges at the highest level, at ministerial level, at official level, in various sectors, of which most importantly are sectors of where we've got common interest, fisheries, mining, oil and gas, culture, sport, and most importantly also to encourage a broader trade and investment between our respective countries. I think what's important to emphasize here, I think to demonstrate further this significance and the strength of our bilateral relations, is we've got a mechanism in place called the Joint Commission of Cooperation. We meet on a biannual basis at the highest political level to consult on our bilateral relations, and also to follow up. It's also a follow-up mechanism, and also to monitor progress in terms of the implementation of the various initiatives that we have. We've got various agreements in place, agreements on trade and investment, agreements on sports, culture, as I've indicated. I think more specifically now is we want to scale up. I think we should confess that our relations in terms of trade and commerce are not at the desired level. And what remains our priority now is to scale up the relations in trade and investment, where we've got a trade going on between the two countries. So we are also encouraging, to have products here, Namibian products, that would find their place in the supermarkets here, at the shelves of the Senegalese supermarkets, like grapes, our meat, and dates, as well as Senegal also. In terms of, we've been encouraging also business to business exchanges. As a result, I think there are also an extended cooperation in the areas of mining between private enterprises. There's an extensive cooperation in the area of gas and oil. As you might be aware, in Namibia and Senegal are the recent kids on the block to recover oil and gas. And then we thought, I think that would be also one of the most important areas to intensify our cooperation, both in knowledge sharing, sharing expertise, and everything else that we can learn from one another in terms of, to harness the benefits of the new sector. No, I think first and foremost, the conservation and the protection of our environment is enshrined in the Constitution. That makes it very important, and it remains an obligation to protect the environment. Secondly, I think tourism is one of the major contributors to GDP. If I'm not mistaken, about 30 to 40%, and it's also one of the highest employer. And I think we've acknowledged that it's an important sector, both to the contribution to GDP and as well as economic growth. The initiative of government is that the environment should belong to the people. People should have an acknowledgement that they should protect what is there. There is a sense of ownership, that this belongs to me, and I've got an obligation to protect the environment because I am surviving from the environment. And I think there are various initiatives that have been implemented by government, various policies. For instance, I mean, there's a promotion of ecotourism. That I mean, it's we should protect the ecosystem. Other initiatives are conservancies, where people are living side by side with the wildlife, and they're earning an income from that. The other one is also communal conservancy, because in the communal area, as you might be aware, I mean, it's the issue of job creation to the communities that live in a certain area. And then the initiative of government was, I mean, it's apart from subsistence farming, let's diversify the economic activities in communal area, and the governments then had sorted ideal that, I mean, let's do communal conservancy, where the communities living in that particular area are able to live from the environment they have, from the wildlife they have, and make a decent living, while also managing the environment around where they live. Because this is another thing, I mean, it's ownership. Once you own something, you would ideally look after it because it sustains you. This, I think, more or less the model of Namibia. And then I think one of the priorities that we had, I mean, since I came here, was to promote greater people-to-people contact, and as well as cultural exchanges and tourism, because I mean, what delivers business or investment is people-to-people contact. And as a result, I think we've made significant progress, because I mean, we do whatever platform we would usually have, like for instance this one, we would use it to promote tourism, encouraging intra-Africa tourism. Yeah, which I think there's also a market, especially Western market, we've realized it's a market that is very much neglected. And then our tourism sector has not been very eager to explore the market here in West Africa, although the market here holds a high potential for tourism. So we've been encouraging our tourism sector also to explore opportunities here, and then also encourage them to do promotion here. As a result, I think we've seen a number of Namibians coming here to Senegal, Senegalese coming for tourism purposes to Namibia. I think we've seen a slight increase as a result of our efforts. Thank you very much. I think let me first comment Amani. I mean, for the brilliant initiative of bringing the voice of Africa out there, because I think as Africans, we need to tell our own story. We need to shape our own initiative.
Right.
We need to tell it from our own perspective.
Right.
And I think media like Amani, I think they are just doing that in a true Pan-African fashion. Yeah, you see, the initial ideals of Pan-Africanism at the time, Ali Botsengo, the Kwame Nkrumahs, and the others, was to bring about to fight colonialism, bring out to statehood and nationhood to countries that were under colonialism. And then I think that was then partly achieved. And then with the last vestiges of colonialism having come to an end with the independence of Namibia and South Africa. And then I think we're in a new era where we seek greater transformation in a way of development, prosperity, and as well as I think to make sure that the continent has a voice globally. And I think that too, it requires the spirit of Pan-Africanism. It requires the spirit of unity, where we speak with one voice as a collective voice. And Senegal has been on the forefront. I could say, Senegal, even with the recent chairmanship of the AU, I think they are playing their part in making sure that we speak collectively as a continent on matters that are of great importance to us. Matters like equality in the international system, inclusivity in the international, both financial institutions like the Bretton Woods institutions, representation in the UN Security Council. In fact, Namibia and Senegal, they serve on the Committee of 10 of the African Union to galvanize the support for a reformed UN Security Council and inclusive Security Council, where Africa has an equal voice. And then most recently, I think Senegal also very successfully championed the membership of Africa within the G20, which is a very important platform for discussing economic affairs. So, but what remains important is, we need to move in unity, and as well as, we need to speak with one voice. We need to speak collectively on matters that really affect our continent. Apart from that, I think it's also important, there are a number of initiatives between the African Union, the agenda of integration, both integration economically, politically, and I think we should move at a faster pace in fully implementing agreements of the African International, the CFTA. The protocols on the free movement of people, because I believe there are still a lot that needs to be done. You see, for us really to have real integration, I think we should work on. It's the integration of our infrastructures, both physical infrastructures. It's also integration of our
cultural, maybe.
Yeah, of our networks, so that it would not take you 2 days to travel from one end to another of the continent. you could travel within, from Senegal, be able to travel straight, let's say, to Namibia. So those are the challenges. And there are also, policy conversions, which is very, very important if you really want genuine integration. And I should applaud Senegal that they've been taking the lead in terms of the agenda on integration at the continental level. Thank you. I think we cannot talk about equality, inclusivity, without including women. And as such, I think since the inception of POW in 1962, I think they've been playing a very pivotal role in the promotion of gender equality, women's rights, and especially women empowerment, both in politics and as well as in the economy. Because women make an enormous contribution to society, to our economies, and then also towards the upbringing of children. And I think it's important. An organization like POW, which is an affiliate organization of the African Union, have made tremendous contributions. And as a result, I think even ourselves, in terms of we've implemented at national level a number of policies that are meant to deliberate intervene in empowering women in all sectors and in all levels. In fact, Namibia has been ranked, I think, by the global gender gap index as the sixth progressive country in the world in terms of empowering women. And then and I think our policies, they've been working very, very well, and that is also, within our constitution. At party level, we've also instituted, a number of parties instituted a policy in terms of empowering women in terms of politics. As you see now, we've got a woman a woman candidate as a potential nominee for the upcoming presidential elections in 2024. We've got a prime minister that is a woman. We've got a deputy prime minister that is a woman. And then within our parliament, I think in terms of representation, I think it's almost 50-50. So, this is in the acknowledgement that women play a very important sector in society. And I believe with Senegal, I think we share the same conviction that women ought to be empowered through equality and inclusivity. As a result, I think we had a number of programs which, as a mission, are trying to establish a cooperation between women cooperatives here in agriculture and women cooperative in Namibia, also in agriculture, so that they can mentor themselves, share best practices, share experiences, because we have seen the value in the programs that are being run here in Senegal, where women are genuinely empowered
Yes.
in agriculture, from the extent, I mean, of producing the crop, from harvesting the crops, adding value to crops, up to the stage of marketing whatever they produce. So I think that's one thing we've been working on. Yeah, because that in itself is also an economic empowerment towards women. Yeah, so we are hoping that we could have delegation visiting each other on exchange programs. Yeah, just to add to that, I think one other thing that should be acknowledged is also the important role women play in peace and stability. As such, I think we recently had Namibia is currently hosting an International Women Peace Center, yeah, of which its mandate is to promote women to get women engaged in peace and conflict resolution initiatives. So we had a very successful visit from the International Women's Peace Center in Winter that came to Senegal on a benchmarking visit, because they also felt that they could also, I mean, gain a lot of insight in terms of getting women involved in peace and security initiative. Because I mean, it's important that we broaden the space for women to participate in peace processes, whether it's negotiations, mediation. Yes, these are, I think, very women do make an impact in maintaining peace and stability as such. I mean, those are also areas that we cooperate with responding institutions here of Senegal and Namibia. No, thank you very much. I think what's important to tell here, the world is changing, and since the pandemic, and now the Ukraine-Russian conflict, and now the developments within the Sahel. And I believe as Africans, it's time that we step to the plate and play our part. I think it's important that we sit on the table. And there are so many brilliant, we're not short of talent. Yeah, very brilliant young people out there, very knowledgeable people out there. And I think that it's time that we bring all these resources to the fore, whether in the diaspora, whether on the continent, to benefit Africans, because Africa is definitely on the move, and on a trajectory towards prosperity, development. Africa is rich in minerals. It's rich in human capital, and there is no other, I mean, to transform our continent, and we should do it collectively as Africans, and put our entire energy towards developing this beautiful continent, towards bringing about prosperity to this beautiful